If retirement in the future means you donate your body and organs at age 40 but will be kept alive artificially in a perfectly simulated environment where you live worry-free, would you do it? Why or why not? And you would actually trust they could keep the system running for another 60 years or so? With my luck, they would load me into the Matrix and the system would throw an error and have to be rebooted. Who'd bring up the kids that you have when you're 30? Hey little Timmy, I know you're looking forward to your 10th birthday, but guess what? Daddy's going to the farm to live in a jar. Sorry, no more playing catch. I'm quite attached to my organs. Plus worrying is my main hobby. Haha, no. I used to work in it. I'd look at that simulation, imagine that people like me are in charge of making that system go, and nope the hell out of there. Now I just want to know what happens to all the bodies and organs. I mean shit, assuming I get to choose when I die, sign me TF up. I saw that Black Mirror EP. Let me be hot and gay forever, duck being over 40. Back pain? Not if you don't got a spine, Lamau. Is this the new Matrix? I just turned 39 and 40 is frighteningly close. I am nowhere near ready for retirement, even if it's some Elysian version of the Matrix. I still have so much to do in the real world. My jury-rigged excuse for a career is beginning to stabilize and become more interesting. I think I might finally be able to start the house buying process this spring-summer. If the house thing works out, I'm getting a dog next. I'm even considering working towards developing a social life this year. I'd like to go on a date someday. I feel like I'm just beginning to accept adulthood. 40 seems way too early to vanish from society, even under the most ideal circumstances. It depends on how long. If they artificially let me live until I'm 150, then I don't see why not. You'd have to define kept alive here. Like, brain floating in a jar hooked up to the system? I'm interested. Some dodgy uploading your consciousness thing? Nope, that's just code for we're gonna kill you, but a copy will exist in the sim. I'd still be just as dead. A copy of me having a great existence wouldn't benefit me at all. Curious how old OP is, and specifically how far away 40 is to their relative sense of life expectancy. There's a game that kind of deals with this question called Soma. It's a horror game, made by the people that done Amnesia, and it's really good. Duck no. If I could die whenever I want, then hell yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's the perfect worry-free life. Sure, it's not real, but why should that matter? I already basically live in my own head. This would just be a step up. Hell no. How do I know what they will do with my simulated consciousness? I would be completely helpless if someone decided to change the environment to a concentration camp or torture me for eternity. Theoretically yes, practically I don't trust anyone to run it. Gimme that blue pill. Don't care if the steak is not real if I cannot tell the difference. I'm 50, so I missed the chance. But I'll spend my remaining days in the simulation control center, plugging my Sony Walkman with Never Gonna Give You Up and Last Christmas on auto reverse into the simulation control computer. Either I die first or the cassette goes bad, but you'll endure. At 40? Dude, that's literally half of a normal lifespan. Most 40-year-olds are still raising kids. You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Would you really trust them to not just harvest you? The artificial environment is a lie. No one's ever come back to tell us it was real. The thing about this is that if it's a company that is selling this to you, as someone in a comment pointed out, if we're still in a capitalist society, it'll surely be provided by a company that wants to sell their product, They do have a great reason for the simulation to be really good and to not do anything bad with your consciousness while you're in there, and that would be money, of course. But simultaneously, how do you know that it isn't just a marketing strategy, and in reality they promise you that so you give them your cash, and throw you out in the crappiest simulation ever with PS2 graphics where you can't leave or communicate with the outside world to tell everyone that the product is a lie and they are literally killing people to make money, or even worse, never put you in a simulation in the first place, and that's that for you. You're dead. No consciousness and USB drive or anything. And they didn't even donate your liver, they sold it to some sketchy mafia underlord that lost his in a knife brawl or something. They did this in the first episode of Star Trek. Aside from Leonard Nimoy, they fired the entire cast, so hell yes, assuming the simulation is indistinguishable from reality, then you are basically getting into cyber heaven. Anyone who tells you struggle or pain is an essential part of the human condition is deluding themselves, because the alternative, that their suffering has no noble cause or goal, would destroy them. No. Living worry-free is like playing Minecraft in peaceful mode. It's just boring. I'd rather be stressed and have something going on in my life. That sounds like literal hell. No thank you. I'd rather just die, since I would know that nothing I am doing in this simulation would matter, so what's the point of existing at that point? Can't work toward nothing that means anything and can't do anything that affects anyone but myself. It would be a living hell for anyone who wants to do something rather than just exist. If you move a file from a thumb drive to your PC, it's a duplicate, not the original. I imagine the same concept would apply when uploading yourself to a simulated environment. It's a copy of you. So no thanks, I'd like to continue living. Why do I have to wait until I'm 40? Take me now. Worrying is what makes me strive to improve. Striving to improve is what makes me feel alive. I think reaching a point where there is nothing to aim for is worse than death. Let's see, be owned by a corporation, get myself killed faster than Epstein, have no will in a system that is bound to have flaws, sounds good to me. If this means I'd be immortal, then yes, also that it probably not the case anyway. I say no, I'd rather live in a real world than in simulated world. A worry-free world isn't a happy world. Well, maybe? Duck yes. Fuck all this shit. Who the duck would choose to keep living their worry-filled life? Sign my ass up for suspended animation yesterday. Just make sure you get my dog and cat right in the simulator I'll be living through. Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world? Where none suffered, where everyone would be happy. It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Agent Smith. Ever read Unwind? Absolutely, the ultimate escape from reality, and I don't have to work or pay bills. I would not sign up early though till they had a track record of not screwing it up. Hell, I do it right now. Where do I sign? No way. Perfection and worry-free sound boring. Life wouldn't be interesting at all that way, at least for me. We can safely assume that there are more simulations than realities. So, it's very likely that we are a simulation, so I'm not really alive. Also, my existence must be stored somewhere and it's probably never destroyed. It's very likely that when I die, a bit just goes from 0 to 1. An admin can eventually put it to 0 again and I would be alive once more. To answer your question, yes, I would do it. Life is meaningless and it's very likely that it repeats itself on cycles that are very fast for the entities that created our simulation. So why shouldn't I try this stuff in this iteration? Life without the struggle is meaningless. So no, I wouldn't. I'm sure there is a Doctor Who episode that would highlight why we should not do this. Hell yeah. Throw this body in the trash and let me start my internet life. Absolutely not. No worries means no consequences, but also no chance make any kind of impact or positive change in the world.